But we made it nice so that you would feel welcome and want to come back again and again and again, because there's a lot of work to do. Some of you may have noticed there's an election coming up. I don't know if you saw that. I know where some of you can buy a toilet if you need one. Anyway. This is a serious and important election. Some call it the most important election of our lifetime. That may come in 2020.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot to do right now. We've got a governor we have to move out of office and move a better governor in.
Here, here.
We're trying to add to our General Assembly. We're trying to do a number of things to make Illinois a better place to live. And to that end, we've got some candidates here. So if you're going to be on the ballot in November, come this way so I can make sure I introduce all of you.
Where's Deborah?
Deborah's here. All right, so I'm going to just go down the row. Oh, you want to take a picture?
Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
Yes, by the way. Because it's like it's saying you do a great job.
Oh, sorry.
Lynn?
Thank you.
So first, my soon-to-be newest colleague in the Illinois Senate in the, what district?
8th district.
8th. There's so many numbers.
Numbers not important.
In the 8th Senate District, running unopposed as I am, but still we need to check his spot on the ballot, Ron Villalon. 5 minutes, 5 words?
5 words, polls don't vote, and we need to elect a new governor and a new attorney general. Democrat, Republican, Independent, it doesn't matter. This governor has not worked for us. And please, along with those two, please send us Jennifer Gong-Gershowitz to the state Senate.
And speaking of Jennifer Gong-Gershowitz, our candidate for the 17th House District, Jennifer Gong-Gershowitz.
I know almost everyone in this room, and many of you have been there literally since the very start of this journey for me, and I just, for me, this is just my opportunity to say thank you all so very much. Cannot get across the finish line without you, and as Ram said, this is going to be about turnout. People show up, we've got this, but we've got to get them to the polls, and we're counting on all of you. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart, from the whole team. We are working so incredibly hard. We're taking nothing for granted and cannot do this without you. So thank you so much.
We're missing Laura Fine today, who, as you know, has been in the Illinois House, a great candidate running for the state Senate. She has an opponent. But with the help of this organization, she will prevail. So thank you for what you can do for Laura. Next, we have Deb Shore running for re-election to the Water Reclamation District.
Thank you, Lou. Thanks all of you. I am running for re-election. You've been with me from the very beginning, and I'm so grateful. There are 3 seats on the ballot for a 6-year term. I'm running for one of them. Carrie Steele, an incumbent who served with me for the last 6 years, is running, and Marcelino Garcia, who will be a very able member of our board. But this year, due to some unusual circumstances, there are 2 separate 2-year terms. And I'd ask you to support Kim Dubuclet and Cam Davis for those 2 2-year terms. They will be allies and strong conservationists as well on the board. And Josina Morita, many of you know, is our second Skokie member of the board. She just had a baby less than a month ago, and otherwise she would have been here this morning. She's not on the ballot, but has been a great member of the board. Thank you for your support for this obscure but vital agency.
I'll drink to that. Cam Davis was here, but he had to go off to another event, so he needs your help. Cam, you may all remember, was put on the ballot through a write-in campaign during the primary. He needed thousands of write-in signatures, and with the help of this organization and many others, we were able to put a real good candidate on the ballot. So we've got to make sure we get Cam elected in November. And last but not least, the most outstanding congressperson in United States Congress, Jan Schakowsky.
Wait, I want the two of you. The wisdom of Deborah Shore. She observed that of the women who are likely to win in this area, I think we're all going to win, but we need your help, are 5 Jewish women under 5'4". Okay, just saying.
Sounds a little discriminatory to me.
So, let me tell you, this is my favorite time in the whole election cycle. Because I believe that the power really does revert to the people. People are sick and tired of all those television ads. But they are not sick and tired of seeing a friendly face at the door talking to them about the candidates. This is the best time. I was just out in Lake Zurich yesterday knocking on doors for Sean Casten, who we want to beat Peter Roscoe. I think it's looking good for us in the governor's race, but you know, we thought it was looking good for us in the presidential race too. We can take nothing for granted anymore. And so I am hoping that we've got Eden and Bert helping to organize, and Lou to get people out to vote. I don't know, I think it was Jennifer or I don't know who said. This election is about turnout. Many elections are about persuasion. We have to convince people to go our way. This election, this midterm, is about getting people out to vote. If our people, all over the country actually, get out to vote, we win. It's as simple as that. But who stays home in midterm elections? It is Democrats, it is young people, it is people of color who tend not to vote in midterm elections. And so that's the job. And I want to tell you, with all the technology we have, and it's all fantastic to help us point us to the doors, to be able to target carefully, it's nothing compared to that door knocker right there, being able to talk to people. I talked to a lot of people yesterday in Lake Zurich, believe it or not, who were not very informed about who the candidates were and what is at stake. And the fact that Peter Roscoe, for example, voted 60 times to take away their health care, not provide coverage for pre-existing conditions, wrote the tax bill that is going to take away some of the tax benefits here in Illinois on the home interest deduction that we want. And so having people that can relate to someone at their door really makes a difference. Early voting starts tomorrow. Those of you in Skokie can go to the Skokie Village Hall and vote. Ben, what are the hours?
There.
Oh, 9.
9 to 5.
It's 9 to 5,
The first
Monday
week.
through Friday. You think I've said this a few times? And on Saturday, Saturday and Sunday, it's I'll have to look it up. But then the week after, it's 9 until 7.
9 to 12.
Yeah.
10 to 12 on Saturday.
The last weekend?
The last weekend is I've got it right here.
Okay, the other thing to note,
10 to 4.
10 to 4 on that last Sunday, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We do in Illinois, thanks to Lou and his colleagues in the legislature, have pretty darn good voting laws now. And you can register on the same day as you vote, so there's really no excuse. You can vote at home. I'm sure you probably have those here in this office.
I think so. If not, we'll
Okay,
get them.
if not, get them. So it's easy, but it's a process. You have to apply for that ballot, Once it comes to you, you just fill it out and mail it in, and there's still time to do that. So there's, and you know how it used to be, some of the veterans here in elections, you have to have an excuse, you're not gonna be in the county, or you're too ill or something. This is no excuse needed to vote by mail. So we wanna encourage our senior citizens that can't go out to the poll, anybody who's homebound, please, we can get them all to vote. And when that happens, we will have the government that we really want. J.B. Pritzker has to win, I said before, I mean, he has to win. He has, yes, he has to win. You know, there are lots of social service agencies throughout the state, in rural Illinois too, where, and in the metropolitan areas as well, where social service agencies that provided help for young children, for quality childcare, for elderly people, close their doors that are never going to open again. There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of people in Illinois who are suffering today needlessly because Bruce Rauner would not have a budget for over 2 years. Something like that.
2 years, 6 days.
2 years, 6 days. Not lying, we're making things up. Okay, so everything is at stake. You know, in the federal level, and that's why I'm encouraging you, if you've got everything under control here, that you should volunteer to go to Lauren Underwood, who is running in the Naperville area. She's a fabulous candidate, who would be the first African-American woman in that area to win. She's extraordinary. I don't know if you've seen her ads on television. You know, we have people that are going to Springfield, if you're from that area, Springfield and Champaign-Urbana. Betsy Londrigan, who can win, and an amazing candidate downstate, Brendan Kelly in the Metro East area. Illinois can be the state that brings us into the majority in the Congress, which we have to win. So these are the moments that decisions are being made right now. And while, you know, Nate Silver, God bless him, says we have an 84% chance of winning, he also said Hillary had a 74% chance of winning. So this is a time when the Koch brothers are pouring in money, when the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, is throwing money into these races. If you can be helpful, let Ben Head know. We're organizing buses and cars, and I don't know if you're doing the same here, and we can feed you into those campaigns. Think about your plan of what you can do between now and November 6th. If you have any time to do what do we call it? A stint? No, a shift. A shift. Sure. If you've got 4 hours that you can give, if you can do 2 shifts, 8 hours between now and November 6th, if you can work on election day to make sure that we're turning out the vote. Think about your relatives in other states. Think about young people. We're very concerned that they are not going to come out to vote. They are among the least likely voters. So if you have children, grandchildren, talk to them, make sure that they're getting out to vote. This is not an election that they can sit out. And the consequences for them, the environment, the cost of healthcare, the cost of college right now, all these things are really on the ballot now. So we need your help. But I can't end without saying how much I appreciate all of the help that I've gotten. Lou, I want to thank you so much, and the organization. Lou and I stood together for many years in Springfield, and we're so proud of the work he's doing. I also just want to take a moment to extend my condolences to Lou. Many of you knew his father, Gene Lang, just one of the most uplifting people I had ever met. And our hearts are with you, Lou.
Thank you.
I know that. You can clap for that. So, you know, if you have any questions, ask Lou.
Thank you, Janet.
Oh, I do want to say one more thing.
Oh, I'll get off the stage.
My husband is the most optimistic person in the world, and he's in the business, he's a political consultant. He believes that Donald Trump will not be remembered mostly for being the racist, the sexist, the anti-immigrant, the criminal, the creep, that he is.
Keep going.
He will, yeah, you could, I'm sure each of you could offer he will be remembered for ushering in the most progressive era in the United States of America. I'm sticking with that.
So thank you all for being here. What's really important is that you're all here because you care about the Democratic Party, because we all care about electing good people to public office. So to that end, before each of you leaves here, please see Bert or Eden or Ben and tell us what you're going to do between now and Election Day. Tell us what time you have available on Election Day. We need you. We'll assign you a place to go so you'll know exactly where to go and what to do. We'll even train you. So if you want to be helpful getting JB and Kwame and the state ticket elected, if you want to be helpful in electing the county ticket, including Deb, if you want to be helpful in improving our government, help us over the next couple of weeks, right through Election Day. And anyone you bump into over the next couple of weeks, at work, at the gas station, wherever you are, get them to vote early. Once that guy has voted, they voted. And so there's a historic numbers of people voting early. And we want to keep that going. So keep the noise going, keep the effort going, and do not leave this office until you tell us what you're going to do for the next 2 weeks.
And Lou,
Eat the food. Yes.
is there phone banks happening here?
We're doing, thank you, we're doing phone banks, we're doing postcards, there's all kinds of opportunities. If you have something you want to do, even if you don't know what it is, just tell us you want to do something and we'll find something valuable for you to do. So eat the food before you go, because I'm not taking it with me. Have a great day. Thank you.